They might have been upwards of 60 miles off the actual lighthouse, but for the skipper who passed Cape Horn today, the moment of release is the same nonetheless. The realization that the Pacific is done, the southern oceans are safely completed, might only be fleeting, but it is a key moment. A message from the skipper's team shoreside usually confirms the actual passage time and stats. But for the 6 skippers who passed Cape Horn today within 10 hours of each other in brisk winds of 25 to 35, gusting 40 knots, depending on timing, there was really precious little time to celebrate, but all shared their emotions in due course. He may be at the back of this main group and in 11th deeper in the fleet than when he led round in January 2022, but Cape Horn on his 52nd birthday today should have been a dream timing for the defending title holder Yannick Bestaven. But, after suffering a breakage to his steering system, damage to the main central axle, to which the link arms connecting the twin rudder are joined, Bestaven is really now struggling. Close to tears, the popular skipper who won the last edition of the race admitted he and his La Rochelle team are fighting to find a solution to keep him in the race. Still, with 250 miles to make to the Horn, Bestaven has set up a temporary system with a spare Genacre sheet to drive the rudders and is making 11 knots under mainsail only. He grimaced, "I'm working with my team to see what we can do. For sure I can't get back up the whole Atlantic like this. Cape Horn is not the finish line, it's just the end of the Southern Ocean. I need my boat in a good enough state to get back to Les Sables. My idea would be to find shelter in the islands at Cape Horn, and then see what's possible, whether I can repair it myself, or to stop at Ushuaia. I really don't know. For sure I'm not able to chase the leaders anymore. Margins at the Horn between the boats have been slender. Jeremy Bayou, Sharrell, and Nico Lundven, Holcim PRB, crossed just 15 minutes apart in 5th and 6th places respectively. Bayou is some 10 hours and 38 minutes behind 4th-placed Ruyant. Then some 6 hours and 19 minutes behind Lundven, who was his navigator on the ocean race. Germany's Boris Herrmann, Malaysia Sea Explorer, completed the 7th rounding of Cape Horn of his sailing career by pipping Paul Mailhat, Biotham, to 7th place by just 31 seconds. Briton Sam Goodchild went round in 9th place on Vulnerable. It is his first time solo, and the second of his career after racing on Holcim PRB in the ocean race. It feels great. It is the 5th time I have set out hoping to get to the Horn, and the 2nd time I've made it. Smiled Goodchild, who made unsuccessful Trophy Jules Verne attempts with Sir Debo and Spindrift. Meanwhile, at the front of the fleet, the 2 leaders are making good progress up the South Atlantic. Johan Richim, Patrick Arkia, leads Charlie Daylin, Massif Santi Prevoyance, by 130 miles this afternoon. They face an imminent strategic choice: how to deal with the semi-stationary cold front at Cabo Frio. He said, "It has been quite intense since Cape Horn, with lot of wind changes, sail changes. It has been pretty full on. The options I have with this front, there are mainly 2 options. Either you stick with the rum line and try to make the best of it with what you get with the front, which is quite active at Rio de Janeiro, or you go round to the east and you try to shoot the center of the high and use the shift as much as you can. It is a tough decision to make, and I'll have to make that tomorrow morning with some new weather files. The center of the high does not look too strong, so there might not be too much option than the rum line." Following observers' questions whether Daylin's boat is at full capacity, Richim responded, "I am not sure Charlie has got any problems. The situations have looked pretty normal to me. He has been catching up, and I have been putting some miles on him related to the weather. There is some logic regarding the weather, and so that makes sense. I am pretty sure he is at pretty much 100%. Do I feel lucky? Yes, I do feel lucky to have had the right weather pattern around me, every time, to keep on moving forward, and to keep on putting miles on the other. But it is definitely intense sailing, and it is not all to do with the weather. Right now, if I were a battery, what charge would I read? Well, this morning I would have been at about 20% probably, and this afternoon 50%, after some sleep. But it is very intense sailing in this race. It is very tiring after 50 days at sea. I'll try and get some rest tonight. And in Melbourne, Australia, Pip Hare received a warm, empathetic welcome from ocean racing fans and supporters when she docked today after sailing nearly 800 miles under jury rig since dismasting 2 weeks ago.
Hello everyone, all the best from Malaysia in the Southern Ocean. 57 degrees south and 67 degrees west. Some of you know this is very close to Cape Horn. We're actually right now passing the longitude of Cape Horn. It is December 28th, 2024. The 24 Vendee Globe at 10:30 UTC. And with this, we're exiting the Pacific Ocean, transiting into the Atlantic, passing the third of the three big capes after Cape of Good Hope, Cape Lewin, and Cape Horn. This marks the transition, the passage through an entire hemisphere and ocean. It is a few weeks ago that we have entered the Southern Ocean, and we have since then circumnavigated entirely Antarctica. We are now, for the first time, heading north, and I say that with tremendous relief and gratitude to the boat, the ocean, the winds, the team that have prepared the boat, everyone who supports us and follows us. Thank you for letting us through this hostile wilderness where we are very exposed if anything was to happen. We are very far away from everything and everyone and every possibility of support or assistance. And right now we are just coming back into the civilization, and I see this really with great relief. And I'm waiting impatiently for the end of the strong wind that I'm still feeling right now as we speak. The strong wind is funneled by the Andes, the mountains of the Andes, and coming in with aggressive gusts of over 30 knots here, hitting us in a very difficult sea state as well. We will have kind of a shadow of South America later today, and wind ebbing off, and that means for me the transition will materialize in my living conditions, which are very complicated at the moment, and that for me should be the sign for a little break, 24 hours of lighter wind conditions, where that are needed, and that I'm very much looking for. And it's needed because then the South Atlantic will demand us a lot. It was two big low pressures, storms. It will be very complicated the next 2 weeks going north, mostly upwind. It feels like a slap in the face, this forecast. It's like, haha, you think you have done the worst, but now here we show you what can come. The South Atlantic can be really, really nasty. We have seen that in the last ocean race. So I need to prepare myself mentally for the next big mountain to come over. And I need this break. I will open a little bottle of champagne that I think the team gave me for Christmas on the boat, but Christmas was just a terrible bashing and slamming exercise in the waves with very unstable conditions. So not much of Christmas this year, and this little break hopefully in the next 24 hours coming up, and then we make our way north to the Falklands and further onwards into the challenging conditions we expect starting from tomorrow evening. With that, all the best. Cheers. Bye-bye. Here we are passing the longitude of Cape Horn. That's us. There's Cape Horn. South America. Ciao Pacific. Goodbye. Let's see. Can we see Cape Horn? Anywhere out there behind these waves? The spray, the fog and the cold. Can an albatross show up? Please? over. This is enough. Enough rattling and jumping and bouncing and bashing and spraying. Permanent, relentless, cold. I'm fed up with that. I'm happy to leave this time. It has been okay. It has been good. But today I feel I'm ready for something new. Stop all this fog for weeks. This cold wetness. Not being able to see anything. Not much at least. So this is already the Atlantic. Hello. Wow, that has been a long stretch. As expected. No surprise here. Talk later. Bye bye. Thank you. Ciao.
Hey, have a look at this. That green line there is the longitude of Cape Horn. That little big boat is us. We're in it. We're in the Atlantic. We've made it past Cape Horn. Really happy with that. It's been a long 10,000 miles of Southern Ocean. Winds should start dropping off now. We can't see Cape Horn. It's 70 miles to the north of us. It's a bit of a shame. We're really happy to have made it this far and have the boat in good shape in one piece. So thanks a lot to the team. Thanks to everyone. I've still got another 3 or 4 weeks to go. 7,000 miles with a couple trips along the way. So it's not going to be easy, but I have to go past this milestone. Take it easy. Bye.
Putain, j'ai cassé mon hook, cassé le hook, c'est-à-dire cassé la tirette qui sert à bloquer le chariot dans le mât. Voilà, donc là j'ai tout affalé et je viens de passer, je sais pas, 2 heures, j'ai dû remplacer le chariot. En fait, celui que j'avais, il avait pas le système de hook de secours. Donc j'ai dû le remplacer, donc monter, enlever la porte, changer le chariot, refaire les lashings, enfin un bordel les gars. Un bordel. Normalement c'est bon. Je vais checker voir si ça marche. Et normalement c'est bon. Je sais pas si j'ai le droit de naviguer le mât seul comme ça avec le J0. Je crois pas. Mais bon. Voilà les amis, la pièce, tu vois, celle-là, c'est qu'elle a pas le système que j'ai sur celle de remplacement qui permet de hooker, c'est-à-dire de mettre ce doigt là que vous voyez dans le mât en tirant dessus. Parce que normalement ça se fait de l'intérieur du mât avec cette petite tirette là qui va dans le mât et elle est cassée. Normalement avec cette tirette, on ouvre une petite porte dans le mât et ce chariot sur lequel il y a la grand voile, clac, il s'enclenche. Il peut pas être pris juste sur la drisse. Sur nos bateaux, c'est pas possible. Et ça se coince dans le mât. Ensuite, on raisse un peu, on ferme la porte, on rentre le doigt, hop, et ça descend. C'est comme ça qu'on prend un riz. Quand on veut remonter un riz, on hisse, on ouvre la porte et clac, ce doigt vient s'enclencher dans la porte. Sauf que je ne peux plus ouvrir la porte parce que mon système est cassé. Donc je le fais avec un système extérieur, mais qui n'est pas monté sur ce chariot. Alors, il faut aller au pied de mât, c'est un peu chiant. Donc j'ai dû mettre celui que j'avais au secours qui a cette petite tirette extérieure. Normalement c'est bon, sauf que maintenant, chaque fois que je prends un riz, il faudra que j'aille devant pour activer à la main ces petites tirettes. Ça va pas être simple. Voilà pour les infos de la nuit. Ciao.
Voilà, donc on est en train de passer un front là, qui est pas cool avec nous. Le vent il arrête pas de faire n'importe quoi d'ailleurs. Et on a la mer de face et ça fait mal. J'ai mal pour le bateau, mais vraiment j'ai mal pour le bateau. On se fait défoncer. Ça saute, ça tape. Voilà, donc va falloir empanner après. Et après on va pouvoir tracer le long de la zone d'exclusion, la zone des glaces. Et ce qui est cool, c'est que normalement derrière le front, on va avoir du soleil. Et le soleil, on en a besoin en ce moment. Voilà, pour les batteries. Donc
ça, ce serait une bonne chose d'avoir un petit rayon de soleil là de quelques heures, là, 2-3 heures là, histoire de remonter un peu les batteries. On n'a rien de ce qui est prévu. La météo est pas du tout d'accord. Les deux fichiers sont déjà pas d'accord et il n'y a rien des deux fichiers. Voilà, donc on fait ce qu'on peut avec ce qu'on a. Et puis voilà. Petit passage de la Royal Air Force au-dessus du bateau. Ils sont basés au Malouine. On fait plusieurs passages. Tu peux avoir un petit échange VHF avec eux. Ouais, excellent. C'est le premier truc que je vois depuis bien longtemps là maintenant. Ouais, super sympa. Dans de bonnes conditions. Parfait, au top.
Good morning and welcome on board the final day where the slow boat eventually makes Melbourne, and I'm no longer alone. So I was joined last night by the incredible crew on board Little Miss Magic.
Saw some of those about 4 or 5 miles further down the track where we're heading now.
Really? Okay, yeah. So do you reckon this is about the right distance from the coast? And they have been watching over me all night as we prepped down the coast. They were behind me. I would just tell them when I was going to sleep, and they were keeping a lookout for traffic, and it was a quiet night, which is great. Most incredible sunrise this morning, and there they are just ahead of me, and now I'm following them into Port Phillip Heads, and look what I've just been joined by. Sea of dolphins. Hello my friends. Well, they didn't stay very long. Apparently slow boats aren't interesting to dolphins. Oh well, can't win them all. So up ahead here you can see there's the entrance to Port Phillip. So that's called the Rip, and we've got to pick our way through that. It can be quite vicious at times. We're in through the heads now, and I just had a visit from border control. Very friendly they were. I pointed out I'm not sneaking into the country, and now we're just going down the south channel. You can see the markers ahead of me into the main bay that we need to go across to get to Melbourne. So I've just been visited by the crew on Little Miss Magic, Steve and Neville. they've dropped off some diesel, some fruit, and a care package as well. So I can't wait to see what's in there. So I'm going to look in this bag first. Oh, this is exciting. Tea. Baby wipes. A bottle of champagne. And a lot of fruit. Oh, look at this. Melon. Blueberries. Strawberries. Raspberries. Oh man. Plums. Peaches. An orange. Oh, grapes. Oh, apricots. They think I can't eat all of this. I have no idea. Joined by some visitors who were laying marks apparently for a regatta that's happening in the bay over there. Hello! Next, I am going to have a cup of tea. This is making me happy. I put the trysail up for old time's sake. The sun is shining, and this could be the best cup of tea in the world. So you can see the Melbourne city skyline behind me there. We're about 6 miles from the main channel, and I've been visited by the folks from the Sandringham Yacht Club over there. Come to say hi. There have been quite a few boats popping up to say hello as I cross the bay, which is amazing. It's just the most warm welcome you could possibly imagine. And there's little Miss Magic there, showing me the way. Hello, Melbourne. We've just come underneath the Westgate Bridge, and I've been joined by Neville Onboards, who's going to help me with lines when I'm parking. Not far to go now. Tied up now in Melbourne City Marina, with the sun just setting behind me. And that's a wrap. No more slow boat. Let's go fast next time.